Hi everyone and welcome at our BK Expo. This is the area where we have expositions about what happens here. And currently we have an exposition about how to visualize your work. And we're here because we're already in week 5 of our MOOC and we want you to learn about different ways to visualize your ideas. So this week we will also discuss your work and the way you visualize it.
Today we're going to start with this proposal from Antoine. He lives in Kingston. This is the street where he lives. The green area in the street is being used for transportation, for vending and waste disposal. This has derated the green area. You can see that pedestrians walk over the green area and that it is worn out. In his proposal, he wants to make clear infrastructure. He wants to separate the green areas from where the pedestrians walk and make clear crossovers so people won't use the green area anymore. And he also wants to make a lay-by where buses and taxis can stop. We have another example which has basically the same problem. There's this one from Rafa. He lives in Nagua in Venezuela. It is a very big street and you can see that a big part of the street is being used for parking and for informal commerce. In his proposal, he wants to move the parking and the commerce into a building and wants to put kiosks in the street. He also wants to make the sidewalk bigger. Kiosks are a part of the culture in Venezuela. That's why he doesn't want to remove them from the street completely. What we like about this one is that he didn't just drew a plan of the street, but he also made a 3D perspective. And this makes it clearer for us to visualize how it's going to look like.
Another assignment is made by Rafael Narbona. He lives in Valencia, and he's talking about the Queen Square. And he says that at the moment, this square is used a lot by cars and traffic, and it's actually right next place to the areas where a lot of pedestrians are, as you can see in this picture. And actually, I've been to this square once in the summer, and I was really surprised by that you just walk through these cute little streets and then you end up upon this very traffic square. And what is nice about this proposal is that it shows us that he shows us in plan how he wants the new situation. So he wants this to be more pedestrian area, and that the traffic is just here at this place, and there's a taxi station and bus station. But what's interesting, because we're already at week 5, that we could explore new ways of visualizing our ideas. So I'm just taking a tracing paper. Not going to do it on the iPad. But an interesting way to show these ideas is, for example, a section where we can have the old situation versus the new situation. In the old situation, he explains that, well, we have a lot of cars and buses, and that the pedestrians are actually, they don't have any place to go. And maybe we can say in a new situation, we have to open up these streets, and we have to make space for pedestrians. So if we have a section at the loan side, we can say, okay, the cars can be until here, and all the rest we can use, for example, for trees or for people to walk. So it could be an interesting way to show your new ideas for the next week in a different way than you have done until now. Here's an example that takes the section actually already in the proposal, because the proposal from Nia Salami from Caracas has a solution that's going also in depth. So she talks about multiple zoning, and that's because we have, besides zoning on the plan level, we also have zoning in a vertical way. So on the top floor we have a public area, and then below we have bus stops and parking. So these are actually two kinds of zoning. And in this example, it's drawn in a 3D visual, which makes it quite clear actually. And also there is some pictures to show how it's going to look like or in the current situation.
Here we see a design from Veronica. She lives in Moscow. This part is a metro hub, and we can see in this bird's eye perspective the different elements that define this square. In this plan, we can see the different users and how in this center they create a pedestrian and traffic jam. Veronica proposes to separate these different users. In this way, there won't be a jam anymore because the different users use their own space. Here we see a proposal from Carolina. It's really on a different scale. It's just a little shelter she has in her house where she stores her bikes, the sledges, and other toys for her kids. You can see here that she has a lot of bikes, and because they're not really ordered, you can only take the first three bikes out, and the toys and the sledges are put on the side and are therefore not easy to access. In her solution, she proposes to put her bike on a different holder. In this way, you create more space, and the toys and the sledges can be put near the entrance, and therefore everything is easy accessible.
So then we already arrive at the last proposal of this week. This is an example from Mauricio Gilbonio, and he lives in Lima in Peru. And he shows us the current situation, that there is a wound in the city, and that's this big road. There are several roads next to each other that really block the pedestrians and other traffic going from this side to this side. And it has already been like this since the 60s, when the car became very important. And in his proposal, he shows that we can work on a multi-level again. So we can put the cars below, and then we can put a park upon it. So it will create also traffic possible from this way to this way, and also the pedestrians can walk where they want, and they don't have the negative effects from these big roads that are underneath. And well, with this one, we want to end our feedback video, and we really want to ask you and stimulate you to, while giving feedback on other people, also get inspired by ways that people draw. So use different techniques, maybe the computer, maybe not, or use 3D or sections, so you can learn even more.